more so than the native species was back there. This one has the red tip on it, but this one doesn't. So you know you can't really go by that because we got one that has a red tip, a red stem. This one really doesn't. So on and so forth. I'm trying to see here.
So Emily, is this evasive?
Yep.
Invasive.
Invasive.
This is the bad stuff.
Oh, right here is the bad stuff.
This is
Yeah.
the bad stuff here.
She never runs, she never has a dog in class.
Can someone hold this for me? This is the Bidens that I wanted to show you guys. Oh, we got a northern right here.
Okay, northern right there.
Yeah, I thought there was a mix in here.
Yeah, so if you guys can get up, see how much shorter this one is? Sometimes
Yes.
the height doesn't.
Yes.
It's green, super green, and it's well, this one actually kind of looks similar to that with the distance between the whorls. But you see how, like,
Look at the red.
But the
You
red
can
is
see
the
the red.
you can see the red on some of them, but
Oh my
not this
gosh.
one.
How many
Yep.
stems?
You can't just go by
This
that.
one has,
What Daisy wants to see.
this one only has 6.
Okay.
This one is,
you can
see
see-
how much smaller and
Yes.
like narrower
Yes.
the leaflets
Bushy.
are
Yes.
We're going
compared
right
to
over the
this
pile
one.
here.
How they're like a little bit wider too.
Push us away if you can. Yeah, we don't want to get it on the bottom of
Yeah,
the
push
bow.
this away. Thanks, Dal.
So yeah, we have a native right here. So what we would do, so this was on my presentation that I didn't get to. The best way to control small stands like this is by hand pulling. Just because there's so many other native species here. If you use herbicides, some herbicides obviously don't select for other finely leaved milfoils. So if you put herbicide here, that northern milfoil would probably die too. Not always. But what you could do is hand pull. So what I like to do when I control invasive species, I usually don't control aquatics. I usually control wetlands, like your purple loosestrife and yellow iris, just because the DNR, you know, it's kind of tough to work with the DNR sometimes.
Really?
But
Sometimes? Yeah.
I didn't know that. Just teasing.
so I kind of leave the
Daryl, can you push the
aquatic
pontoon
invasive
back?
species alone. But for you guys, what you could do first, I had a slide on this, is go around the lake in front of your properties, and if you have a small stand like this, just take a point, like a GPS point. Gaia GPS is a free app that you can put waypoints on, put notes in. You can't take photos, but what you could do is do that, and then once you have these small segregated stands mapped, you start hand pulling. You can only hand pull up to 30 feet in front of your property without a permit. You can go 30 feet wide, but you can continuously go out within that 30-foot zone without needing a permit. For this, you would dive down, which I'll show you once I kind of get these corralled up here. And you'll want to just stay as still as I am so you don't mucky up the bottom where you can't see. You'll want to scoop the lake sediment with you. I heard Christy, she uses a shovel, which I think is an awesome idea. I was thinking about that on the way here to bring a shovel, but a shovel to kind of dig around a little bit. Not there's a lot of plants down here, so the lake bed probably wouldn't get muckied up as much, but the shovel will help get a lot of the roots out. If we were in mucky sediment, you could easily just kind of follow the plant down and pull it slowly, but I don't think we'll be able to do that.
I have a hard time pulling it most of the time.
Yeah, you won't be able to do it
I
here.
bungee a little shovel with a little bungee onto my wrist, so I don't lose the shovel. Then I dive down with the snorkel and just go around it. And
See
then
this?
you can pull it right up.
This little fragment would start something.
Isn't that crazy?
Something new, and it was just floating here. Another thing you could do if you didn't feel comfortable in all of these plants is get a square rake. So some of those garden rakes are more curved.
Yeah.
There's a smaller square rake that you can buy. That's just one side. And if you follow along the plant down into it and then get down closer to the lake bed and twist and then pull up, you could try that method. I haven't personally tried it, but I've seen other people do.
How about the little small hoe? It's a
Yeah.
small curled hoe. Have you guys know what that is? It's like about this,
handheld
about that.
hoe?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's on a big, like you use it in your
right,
garden.
right,
I
yeah.
have one of those, and you can go down under it.
Okay.
So I'm gonna
Yeah,
get my
we have some of
goggles
those.
primed
Yeah.
up, but
Not a big one, but the little small.
Is
Yeah,
there a
yeah.
single planter group over there, smaller?
Is
What? Is there a smaller group over
Those
there?
are some of his anchor.
I mean, this is a
Could you
huge.
go to somebody
Oh,
else's
we'd like you
property?
to remove as much as
I'm
possible.
sure everyone would love it.
This is huge.
But I
just wanna make sure you're not breaking that, some sort of
No,
weird rule,
they're not
right?
gonna. People on this lake are not gonna be opposed if someone
How
is pulling
many times have you
milfoil
seen
out of
a
their
DNR
area.
person on our
I'm
lake?
guessing.
Never, we always think
Yeah.
of that.
Well, I've been here
Yeah.
50 years.
One time, I think.
Well, since Dave Swanson retired. Never.
Because if you see it, they
No,
might not
this
see
is a
it.
mixture.
so here we go.
Okay.
Just an example.
All right.
We identified that this is Eurasian Water Milfoil. We took a point, an imaginary point, and then we wanted to control a section. The best thing that you could do, I know it's difficult, is try not to do any collateral damage with some of these native species. It's really hard when you have the fine-leafed, leafy pondweeds with you, but I got one kind of segregated here. I'm just gonna not turn up the bottom a lot and just kind of investigate a little bit, see where this goes. Just because it's like laying right here doesn't mean that it's gonna be straight down. I've been kind of playing with it a lot, so it'll be a little bit, but let me just kind of investigate quick.
Yeah, this is the tough one. Try to go around the lake and pull stuff like this. This is,
Try to save
Yeah.
the good stuff.
well, yeah.
Way down there.
Oh, yeah, it
Unfortunately, most of this stuff is in 6 to 10 feet of water.
is. Right.
Most of it.
Right.
This was one of the rare areas you can find in the shallow.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, so what I did
Yeah.
is I got the root. I may have broke it off one that was collateral, but so I followed it down first, down along here to find out where it was, because it was laying down, so you can't really
Yeah.
go by that. You have to kind of follow it down first without touching the lake bottom. Found out where it was, came back up, got my breath, and then I got down, dug my hand, scooped it up, and kind of like slightly tugged. Then when I came back up, I kind of wrapped it up.
Yeah.
It wasn't the best example the first time. And then this is the roots that came out with
Oh,
it.
geez.
And you see there's little guys growing underneath too.
Yeah.
So what you would do then is, I liked, you definitely want to do this with a buddy. So you can have somebody in a kayak or on a boat, you pull this up, you can give it to the buddy to handle. They'll watch for any fragments above, just because you'll have fragments. It's undeniable that you will, but at least you'll have somebody else to do it. We have the bag option that Christy was talking about. I've also seen somebody put a floaty, like a
In a tube with a
like one of those like little noodles.
Yeah.
They kind of wrapped them around and then put a bag in there, so it's
Yeah.
floating around with you. So instead of like going back to the kayak, you can put it in the floaty next to you, go back down. I did stir up the lake bottom a little bit, so I kind of floated this way away from where the mat was, just to keep it so it should be going down now. But I didn't get any other native plants with this because I first went down, investigated where it was, came back up, got all of my plants out of the way, because you don't want to remove native species, because if you remove all the other native species around here, the first thing that's going to come back is your milfoil. You want to have your plants there, and it's going to be a little bit hard, but we'll go back and do it again, and I'll see if I can get a bigger clump. But I'm a little unseasoned doing this, so I wanted to see how it went first. But so we're going to go back and investigate. I'm just going to slowly walk over here, find out where all my plants are. Make sure that it's invasive. So remember, invasive, it's going to be that narrow. What we're seeing is it's narrow-leaved in this stand. There are some tips that are red. See, when you pull it out of the water, it's laying, it's clasping along the stem, whereas the other one, the native species that I pulled up there, it laid stout. See, this one just came off right away. So here's another one. So you want to just be cognizant of these. Where's my buddy? Okay, I identified what I wanted to do. I'm gonna research it, figure out what's around it.
You gonna be doing this out in front of our place there, Daryl?
Sure.
You'll be his buddy helper.
Where do you fit in the formula?
Well, I'll just observe. No, I'm kidding. I would help.
She's a supervisor.
I would help.
Yeah, body weights would help doing this, but
I know, right?
that's what I said about not getting out any further than any deeper than this. You can't miss it. It's growing out in 10 feet, 10, 12 feet of water. I mean, I don't know how. You have to have scuba gear on.
That one wasn't a good one.
Just pond weed there in place.
Because the northern one,
I think I already did that one though.
leaflets
Yeah.
at the bottom,
I think I
rock
brought
is
it 2 weeks
smaller,
ago.
so it looks like a little
Jimmy Payne stubbed his toe and I
So this one was next to and got collateral damage with the leafy, but this was a singular one alone. Just investigated, went down and got the roots.
Yeah.
This one was a little bit easier. I was able to kind of just, it was a little bit muckier right there to get that one down, but then I kind of just floated it like that. So this is where your buddy would come in. Got some gramineous on the head. It was a little bit more turbid than I would like, but
So most of you guys, where I find it at Little Gilmore all the time is under your docks. So really, most of the people out with their docks, it's not that deep. So just go out the end, look at the end of your dock and look, and then look back underneath. It's amazing.
Good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Do they?
front of your place, front of your place, there was some, and
In my place?
yeah,
Really? This year?
yeah.
Do you know how little Gilmore is with milfoil?
Daryl would know.
Daryl handles.
Okay.
Hey.
Do they have it on Little Gilmore, the Eurasian milfoil?
Oh yeah.
So, you know, they're coming under the hole, under the
I'm gonna
road
be gone for 2 weeks.
We're getting it from the north end.
from that too. I
You
mean,
go up there and look. you're
Oh,
gonna
yeah,
see
yeah,
the
that's-
line field up there.
yeah, I know.
That's,
They try to
that's
tell
closer to us than Little Gilmore.
Yeah, the first 5 years we didn't have it on Gilmore. Then we're
Right.
back on.
Wow. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
so this was a
sakes.
larger stand. So we got the roots. You just scoop it up. I followed it down first. I kind of just, right before all that plume came up, I did get a big chunk, but right before the plume came up, I kind of scanned the area, looked for fragments, but this is where your buddy will be looking. I don't see any yet. But this was a one root ball of one plant. So I can go back, let me go back and look and see. Can I put this on
Yep.
here?
You can put it inside.
I mean, it's kind of dirty.
That's okay.
I'm gonna go back and see how bad it is, and I'll let you guys know.
right there that's floating away from your ball, or is that good?
No, that's something different.
Let me see how dirty it got.
I don't think that's,
You don't think it's bad?
I don't think that's a different plant.
That's a pondweed.
Don't see it by us. I mean, little game.
Interested in the tube.
Oh, right there.
In front of
where you see
standards,
it.
where the,
You know where
I always used to have a buoy out there.
my dock tire.
Is it,
Go down.
No, it's not, it's more just on the
It's an
inside.
easy way to get it.
Really towards that raft, right in that area. Where people come out and accelerate. Right in front of standards, boat liver yard,
Every day, I just walk out.
and then over towards your sister's place.
Yeah.
Yes.
The takeaway is you can't just grab stuff. Here's the surface
Down
of
in
the
down in front of, Canadian, you know, where the Canadian, he doesn't have his boat lifting this year.
Maybe put it
You know, you have
Oh, the
Perry's, then you have
It wasn't too bad down there.
Well, you're still gonna go on the tire.
Okay.
So I grabbed some
quite a bit.
more.
It's always been. that's
Heads up.
water. It's out in about 13 feet of water out there.
So it wasn't too bad down there, so I went down there, but these red stems you can really see even through. I did get some clasping leaf on that one, but what I noticed just doing that, if you kind of just grab the rip ball before you pull it up, you'll kind of suspend down, kind of hover around, get your depth breath before you go down, and you can hold down there, and then you can kind of scoop it up slowly. You don't want to go boop.
Yeah.
Okay, that was awesome.
That's a nice chunk.
Okay, who's next?
Hardly ever.
So yeah, it is a little bit turbid down there, but if you just don't move a lot.
Yeah, exactly.
So we got one.
Is that another one?
Yep.
Okay.
So we got two that might be separated here. But yeah, you just investigate, figure out which one you want to target. Eventually, once you get a little bit better at it, it'll be second nature. But we can try to get this one.
Oh,
This one.
my son just drove up from.
So this is a nice plant right here.
But we get the most.
Just to get one.
Yeah.
Just to get one. But the water is nice and warm, and what a nice way to spend an afternoon.
Right.
You know?
And she's in the shade. That's a positive attitude. I like.
You know I love the lake.
I know.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
There's only, when you dig down up there, there's only one in the water at a time, there's one on the boat.
So much more time consuming than I thought. I
Well, we have divers down, but there was still, there's two people running the water, one in the other.
That one was crazy.
So that was
divers
without the
are-
dash equipment.
So I did get some
Okay.
coontail, but the coontail doesn't
The
rut.
Oh, I
So.
see the
No, they
coontail.
go-
Oh,
they go
yeah.
really, but they go.
Oh, that's very distinctive, isn't it? Yeah.
It
Has
goes
the bulb
up
on top.
and it goes into a
These-
big bag.
We'll get a
So yeah, that's what you do.
bulb, but not as
Hundreds of them.
Look at that.
8 or 10 feet of
Coontail.
water. How different
There.
is it?
Crazy how much.
So I'm
I probably have
This is the milfoil.
a wetsuit with some weights, just so the weights would help me stay down further. And the wetsuit will help you float, so you're not using as much energy. But you might even want to try like a diver at that point too. But for like this shallow areas, the snorkeling would do just fine. But like the wetsuit really helps keep you afloat. Because like sometimes I get sporadic and there's a bunch of plants and the wetsuit will just kind of like float you back up, where you have to use a lot of energy to try to navigate your way around. But once you get it and you follow the plant kind of holds you there. Helps.
Right. When you have it.
Yeah. But like that one, so that one that I just pulled up, there was they weren't a root ball. There was one chunk here, and then there was another one that was kind of attached to it. So I kind of had to find out where the other one was, and I may have got some fragments up doing that one just because it was a little bit more difficult. Yeah, we got some northern here that I may have grabbed, and then you can even see right here. So this is the invasive next to the northern, just floating. You can see how long the leaves are compared to the other one. The northern is more wider. It's the leaflets are a little bit longer themselves, and this is more lanced shaped, longer. The reddish, it's not too red, but it is red enough to see between that one. But this one does look a little bit more bushier because it's larger leaved.
Yeah.
So everybody go down and buy butternut nets and put a 6-foot
Oh, this is perfect.
handle on it.
So this is Biden's, I think.
Yeah.
Let me see. Yeah, it is. Perfect. Look at that. So here we got Biden's. You can see that it kind of looks similar. It whirls around the stem. But
Kind of looks like dillweed
yeah, it's a little bit bushier.
in the water. Yeah.
It holds its shape,
Yeah.
but the leaf,
Yes.
if you single one out here,
Branchy.
way different.
Way different. Oh my gosh.
But yeah, this one's a native. It produces a really pretty flower. So yeah, there we go. Those are the ones that I talked about. So
Yeah.
And Emily, we've been told that as the season goes on, the Eurasian milfoil will fragment much more easily, right?
yeah.
So you want to do this as early in the spring as you can start seeing the plants, because they'll be the first thing up, and that's all there'll be that you'll notice. And that's a great time to go after it because it won't fragment as easy.
milfoil? Yeah.
Eurasian milfoil.
Yeah, that's a great point. I had that in my spreadsheet too, is because
Stuff hanging in
the native species come out later. So you don't want to do this right now when I'm doing it because there's so many other plants there. So like curly pondweed and Eurasian are the first ones to come up. So there shouldn't be anything else obscuring your view.
Okay.
So you could easily follow the plants and go down.
However, I was just going to say, however, that's when the water is cold.
Yeah, dry suit.
Are we gonna go anywhere else on the lake? Or
The only other thing I wondered is if people wanted to see, if you don't do anything about this, how bad it gets. I don't know how many people have gone into the North
I don't
Bay.
ever go up.
I think we
Without
should.
signage,
I think we should go up there and take Emily up there, either afterwards or if people want to go now, that's fine too.
I'll pull in because I gotta get.
'Cause you
going
need to
here.
see what it
So
can
people
really
have to
do.
go out, come
It's
on this
bad.
boat, and then.
Do people want to switch boats?
I live in it, so.
Yeah, I think you see it enough that you don't want to see it when you don't have to, right?
Yeah.
Here, I'll get it.
Thank you, Emily.
What's that?